Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Samantha and today I would like to share with you another instalment from my series of How I, and today I'm going to be sharing with you how I apply eyeshadow. So the palette that I'm going to be using is brand new to me and it is the Makeup Academy matte palette. I think it's called Matte Featherlight. So these are the 15-pan palettes. These are, I believe, are they £5? I can't remember because I did buy this a number of weeks ago and haven't used it yet. I've saved it actually for this video. So yeah, I think they're £5, but of course I will list and link everything down below for you. I'm actually really enjoying this series of sharing with you how I apply my makeup, and I hope that if you are new to makeup, or you're just starting out, or you're trying to change your makeup, that I hope that this series is helping you. Now I'm just trying to get the tape off the product. I should have actually taken it off before. So anyway, the palette looks like this. Like I say, you've got 15 pans in here of matte shades. And this is the other palette. I was quite impressed with this shade palette Fire Vixen. Now, when I did the swatch video, I actually thought, oh my goodness, I've made a terrible mistake, because the shimmers were absolutely amazing, but the mattes were not quite very well. They weren't very good. They didn't swatch very good, but on the eye they really worked very, very well. So I've got high hopes for this. I don't think it's going to swatch very well, but I'm hopeful that it works well on the eyes. Now I'll do a couple of swatches for you. So I'm going to definitely do that middle shade, which is like a sort of salmon brown. Now again, exactly the same thing has happened as when I swatched these matte shades. You get a little bit of product on, and I'll do another. So you get product on your finger, and this is the first layer, and it tends to fall off. And that is what I found with the first matte shades. I also had someone actually mention this to me, but I found that when you get through that first layer, so obviously I've just done it again, it doesn't happen. So it is just that initial first layer, and that shade is fairly pigmented. I'm pleased with that. Let me just do this blue, which is the bottom shade. And there's that blue grey shade at the bottom. So I'll just show you the ones that I swatched. So this was the first one, this was the second one, and then this blue at the bottom. I'm not particularly keen on the greys in here, the really cool tones, but the shades that I really wanted was this one, this one, this one, and certainly these neutral shades. All of this row will be very, and in fact that one and even that shade. I mean, the blue, it's a lovely colour, but I've never really used it before. But as I've been sharing with you over the definitely last week, I've been using brighter shades and absolutely loving them. So it is going to be a matte look today using just that palette. So to start with, obviously, I'm going to start off with my Primark brush, which is only £1 from Primark, of course. Love this. And I'm going to start off with that middle shade, so that first shade that I swatched. And I'm going to see what this one looks on the eye. They do, when you pop the brush in, they are a little bit powdery, but well, I'm only going by the original Fire Vixen palette. They do come off on, sorry, the product goes onto the eye very, very well. So let's try this. Now, I've got an incredibly dry eye here. I mentioned this in my first video. It's incredibly dry, very, very, it looks like I've got eczema on my eye. So something has set that off. I don't know if it's the Kat Von D foundation, but I'm hoping that over the next few days that will disappear. I don't think you can see it so much on camera, which I'm really pleased about. But I really love that shade actually. It's like a warm terracotta peach, very, very pretty and quite pigmented actually. Because I mean the swatch is not too bad. I was very, very disappointed when I did the swatches of this palette from the mattes. Really didn't show up very well, but when I used the palette and got past that initial layer, they really do work very, very well, and that's why I then purchased, you know, another palette from that particular range. So now I'm going to definitely use this shade, which was the second shade that I swatched. So it's that one there. So I'm just going to put the product actually onto the tip of the brush. So basically, if I didn't explain it at the beginning of this video, I wanted to do this series that to share with you how I apply all of my makeup. I do get a lot of questions, especially about my brows, foundation and things like that. So I wanted to share with you how I did all my makeup step by step. I've mentioned this before, I don't edit any of my videos, because if you want to follow along with this, you know, you certainly can in real time. And what I really like is that a number of my subscribers have said that they like my channel because it feels like, you know, we're just chatting, you know, doing our makeup all together and things like that. And that is, you know, the feel that I want to my channel. I want it to be friendly, user friendly, and, you know, easy. I don't want a tutorial where, you know, I do a tutorial and you find it incredibly difficult and perhaps, you know, too difficult to follow. So everything I do is easy. This is how I do my makeup on a daily basis. So I just wanted to explain that. So I've popped the product now on the tip of the brush, and I'm just going into the crease now and just blending that through. So the shades are blending nicely together. Not too, well, there's no fallout on my face. I was going to say not too much, but there's none. And again, I'm doing this with the other eye. So far, I really like these colours. Lovely. I'm just going to add a little bit more of that first shade. If you do ever feel that you have, when you put that crease colour in, that you feel that you've gone too deep with that, or too much product, or you've taken it too high, just put a little bit of that initial transitional shade on the brush, on the flat of the brush, not the tip, and then just go round the eye again, and that will then blend out that deeper crease colour. It will also take it down a notch if you think that it's too intensive or intense in colour. Now I'm going to go for an even darker brown, and I'm going for this one in the corner here, and I'm just going to pop that in that outer edge there, just to deepen that up a little bit more into the outer V, and just round a little bit, not too much, because I really want that peach colour to be the star of the show. I'm really loving that. Again on the other eye. Now I must admit that this brush, I know it doesn't really look anything, but using this in my eyeshadow tutorials, let me get it right, there we go, has really helped me to get my eyeshadow, or to apply it correctly. I just love this brush so much. I've only used this one brush to do all of these 3 shades, and that's what I want. I want everything to be easy, and it's like everything in life. I like things to be easy, and I find that if something is too difficult, or, you know, I just don't really want to do it. I want to everything to be easy, to be natural. And, you know, like I say, that's across the board in my life. I just like ease of, well, everything. I don't like anything to be too difficult. Now I'm changing now to the Unicorn's Dream brush, and this is the flat one, and I'm going into that first gorgeous colour, and I'm just going to run this under the eye all the way along. And then I'm going to now change to the PS Pro Shading Eye Brush, and I'm going to dip into that second colour. So that was that shade. So that's what we've put under the eye first of all, then this one. And I'm just going to run this along very, very close as I can get it to the lash line. And just halfway along to give me a little bit of depth. Now again, if you've put too much on or you don't want it to be that deep, just go back to the first brush with the excess of that product on, and then just blend it out like that. Now I've got to think about what I want onto the lid, and I think I'm going to go with this peach colour down here, and I'm going to use that Unicorn's Dream brush with that excess product on, and I'm just going to put it into that peach colour in the corner, and I'm just going to run that over the lid like that. It's a nice light colour. Just going to do the other eye. And going back to my Primark brush, and I'm going into that last brown shade, that shade there, the deepest one, and I'm just going to intensify that corner and that last third of my eye. Just blend that together. And that is the finished eye, and I think, to be honest, I really like that. That is very, very nice, very wearable and very, very pretty for this time of year. I really love that first transitional shade. Now I'm going to move on to mascara, and as usual I'm going to use the Nip and Fab Black Mascara. This will probably be the last week that I use this, and then I'm going to swap to my Primark waterproof mascara because this is now getting a little bit too thick, and I have been now using it for a little while, and obviously with mascara you can only use it for, I think it's 3 months, and then you have to discard it. So I'm going to discard it very, very soon. So I'm just going to go over the eyelashes with that. So there you have it, the finished look. I really like it. It's gorgeous. It's very, very wearable for daytime. And yeah, I really do actually like this. if you have got this palette or any of the palettes from this collection and you've swatched it like I did and you think, oh my goodness, what have I got here? Just swatch the first layer off. So just even when I swatched it for the first time, a lot of the product is now on my table. But when you then swatch it a second time, it swatches very, very well. So I don't know what it is with this product, but the top layer is incredibly crumbly. So what I would do, if you have got this, whatever shade you use, just swatch the first, for the first time, sorry, just swatch the top layer off with your finger and then put your brush in after that, because I think you'll find it a lot better. But it is very, very nice. The colours are lovely, and for £5, a very, very nice palette. I'll just share with you that Fire Vixen again. This is the Fire Vixen. This is the one that really actually got me into these. I really do like it, but for a day-to-day basis, I think I'll be using this because, you know, I don't necessarily want these bright shades on every single day. So I'm really pleased with that. I hope you enjoyed that eye tutorial. I've just got one more video to share with you, and that will be how I apply my lipstick. And I've got some new products again to share with you there. So thumbs up if you found that helpful, you enjoyed that, or you just want to support me, and do subscribe to watch further videos and tutorials. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you very much for your support. I've really enjoyed this series and I can't wait to share with you the new lip products. But thank you so much for watching. Until next time, thank you. Bye.